I am Lil Evers, and I've been part of the ongoing group, which has been very helpful. I lived what I refer to as a normal life until the middle of the 1980s, when I began to be aware that I was holding on to things and I had too much. And by the 1990s, I was living in Los Angeles, and there was an ongoing group for pack rats. In those days, we were called pack rats. And I attended this group in Long Beach, and if anybody knows anything about LA, driving down after work to Long Beach was horrendous, but it did nothing for me. And then in the late 1990s, I began to look back on my life and say, why did this start? How did this start? Well, about 40% of my caseload, I was a psychotherapist, were gay men. And they had started coming in with different illnesses in the early 1980s and different form of pneumonia. And by the middle of the 1980s, I was beginning to lose these men to AIDS, to AIDS. You can see it's still emotional for me. And it was very sad to watch these young, beautiful men dying and seeing I had no power. And I think my need to have power and hold on was then transferred to my personal things, because that's where the holding on and the inability to let go started. Also, it was more dimensional, because the one parent in growing up that was loving was a hoarder, and I was praised for frugality and for intelligence. So now I have piles of books and piles of magazines that I can't even read, and I read it, and because of my ongoing age, I remember nothing, and I know that I remember nothing, but I still can't bring myself to let go of anything of value. So my holding on is I look at it and I say, this is a value I can't let go. The group has been wonderful for me. It's enabled me to lose some of my shame. I had terrible shame about what I did to myself. And I see all these lovely, intelligent people, and I can include myself in that group. So I've let go, and as therapists, you know shame is very negative. So I've been able to let go of that, and I continue to work on the problem because my husband is going to live for a long time. My son lives with us, and my concern is I'm leaving this terrible, terrible mess for them. So my drive is to change my life so I don't leave that to my husband and son, and to one day be able to welcome people into my home again, which I can't do now, which has been a great loss for me. Randy Frost described me completely, so that's my story. Thank you.